mystery. Some say there's a better way. People love to talk to ease the pain. No way it's ever gonna solve a thing. Speak out, love to hear your voice. War and hate that seem to be the drugs of choice. Tell me what tomorrow brings. It's a mystery. Open your eyes to truly see that there's no more time left for you and me. Now such a mystery that we refuse to see. The love we never ever knew. Godspeed, here's a time on late. Better grab what's yours, don't hesitate. Don't say you didn't really have a clue. It's a mystery.
Big Ron Shaw here, the Earl of Upsets, telling you to watch my friends Monte and the Pharaoh on Long Island's #1 wrestling podcast show. And soon to be the world's #1 wrestling podcast show. That is going to be a big upset.
All right, welcome back to the Howard Stern of Pro Wrestling, Monte and the Pharaoh, where we've got our special guest, Big Ron Shaw. Ron, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. I got to say that is one sensational opening, probably the longest in podcast history. But I got a question for you right off the bat. You know, when something's bothering me, I vent. I got to vent. What the hell is going on right now in our country? What the hell is happening? Because let me tell you something. Ever since the last time I was on your show, we've had Charlie Kirk assassinated. Deeply, deeply sad day for that to happen. Then you have animal monsters on the street stabbing people in the New York subway, as we all seen on the news, okay? The same thing happening in Chicago, dousing a woman with gasoline, torching her. Can you imagine the pain that this poor soul went through? And this monster, I don't know where he's at. He's in jail. He should have been shot right there, right in his head, and put out of misery. And then you've got the famous 6 senators who are telling our troops to stand down and not take orders from our commander-in-chief. These people are traitors. And that Kelly, he's the ringleader right there. Let me tell you something. Do you see that bald head on him? Okay. He looks like not mini-me. And his ears sticking out. When he was doing a spacewalk, he must have got hit on the side of the head by an asteroid or something. Because let me tell you something, he is one ugly looking dude. But what the hell they did? These people are traitors. Now, why am I so pissed off? Well, just shortly before the show, okay? And let me tell you something. I'm here tonight to tell you guys about some great news that I have about your ratings. Obviously, you're aware of your ratings. And what I'm going to do is enlighten you a little bit more. When a company that has a 9.9% satisfactory rate in what they do. Okay, but we'll get to that eventually. But I got to vent a little bit. Why am I pissed off about something? Well, just minutes before your show started, I got off the phone doing an AM radio call-in sports talk show. I'm not going to give you the name of the individual. I'm not going to give you the name of the show or the numbers of the show, etc., because I don't think this individual deserves a plug. We were talking, and in some cases, I love to talk because we were talking about my days as a youth, growing up. How did I become a pro wrestler, and how did I get interested in becoming a pro wrestler, and how I used to go to the matches. And you start thinking about, as I'm talking, I'm thinking about these things. And when I was at the Philadelphia Arena, when I was, 14, 15 years old, my first couple matches, I would go and get the end seat in the very front row by the heels, okay, where my favorites were walking out, like Larry the Axe Hennig, Iron Mike McCord, the Valiant Brothers. And it was such a great setting in that arena because you didn't have barriers around the ring like you do today. Okay, the front row seats are maybe 10 feet away from the ring. So you could have wrestlers landing in your lap. And of course, these days, it's, they have to look out because of lawsuits, etc. But you know something? For my friend who I just did this radio show for, I want to lower my standards way down to a Democrat because you know what? Republicans don't do what I'm going to do right now. Okay. And there's new people now coming into the Democratic Party. They've got no messages to tell anybody except hate Republicans, go after Republicans, get in their faces, start trouble. Well, I'm going to call out a few of these people because you know what? Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi. Now, remember, I'm lowering my standards right now, okay? Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi right now. The dumbest woman who has ever in politics. She just recently called Donald Trump one of the lowest forms of life on earth. Well, let's remind everybody about Nancy Pelosi, how stupid she is. Do you remember this? And everybody should because it was all around. We have to pass the bill to find out what's in it. Oh, Barack. Now, that may sound funny to you, but you know what? That's what was leading our country. Okay. Another one who just recently said, I'm going to make sure that there is not another billionaire made in this country. And I'm talking about Uncle Bernie, Colonel Sanders. Every time this man speaks, it sounds like he's going to have an aneurysm. Okay? Now, Bernie, do me a favor. Send me your address because I want to send you a comb for Christmas. Okay? Then we got Maxine Max Waters. And I call her Max because she looks like a guy in drag. This is one of the ugliest, filthiest bitches that I've ever seen and said something so disgusting the other day that I wouldn't even repeat it in front of my dog. Okay? But let's remember about one thing, what she said. When you see a Republican at the dinner table at a restaurant, get in their faces. Let me tell you something, Maxine. I think you're on your way out very shortly because you don't look like you can barely sit on the shitter as far as I'm concerned. And what I think is the best thing that could ever happen to her and her dirty, filthy mouth is when Trump kicks out the last three violent criminals, okay, that I hope there's a way that they can piss in her dirty mouth. That's how disgusted I am with these people. So now I got out of that gutter. Let's bring myself back up again. That's how pissed off I am about this whole situation with those one. It's not Trump's fault. This is all a carryover from Biden, okay? That puke Biden and his family. And they're all pukes, okay? And along with Kamala Harris, too, okay? I've never seen anything like these people before, how they tried to cover up. But we're now uncovering the truth. We're uncovering the truth. Now we're going after the people. And some of you people who are scared in the Democratic Party, you need to climb to the highest bridge with the least amount of water below it and do us all a favor. Jump off because hell is coming at you real fast.
Hey,
Nobody's going to talk about the way I talk because they're gutless, okay? You've never heard it from anybody's mouth except mine because I tell it as it is. I may lose 4 or 5 friends because of how I talk, but you know what? I'll gain 8, 7 new friends.
Ron, What did the country lose when Charlie Kirk got assassinated?
You know, a teaching. I mean, in one word, a teaching of the right things to do in life, to do well in life, to be good in life, to help your human friends, your neighbors, and etc. And what happens? He ends up getting blown away for saying words we all want to live with. His words that he's going around all around the country and spoke about. Such a shame.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the country has changed? You spoke about earlier on in your life when you were a younger man. Do you feel like these problems have always had issues? We've always had these issues within this country. Or you think it's just gotten worse, and why?
It's always been here. Okay. It's just gotten worse because you have lawless Democrats who are trying to take over this country by telling us what to do, what to eat, what kind of vehicle to use. It was never like that. Yeah, we had problems like that. And right now, it needs to change. They need to get on board, but that will just never happen. We're now having socialists, okay, in New York City. And matter of fact, last night on the news, another Somalian walked up behind the girl and slit her with a knife. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that was another happening from an illegal migrant. Okay, and the guy's been arrested so many times, just like all the others so many times, but they let him right out, no bail. Unbelievable. I don't know how people stay in there. I guess they have to stay in the state because maybe they can't afford to move. You're going to move and pay a high interest rate right now, and maybe that's just what they don't want to do. They're stuck there. Maybe they're just hoping and praying that it's going to change one day. Unbelievable.
Jimmy, your thoughts?
Well, the narrative has changed over the decades. I remember when I was a little kid, and I used to run to the store to see guys like Big Ron Shaw in the wrestling magazines, and I'd be going looking through the magazines, and I think it was around 1980, 79, more likely, where next to the wrestling magazines was a Time magazine, and on the cover was the Ayatollah Khomeini, and it said, "The Face of Hate." And being raised in a Jewish family, I was curious, and I asked my parents. I said, "What's this all about?" Now, my mom didn't want to touch any of it, and oddly enough, I have a very difficult relationship with my mom to this day because she became one of the liberal people that obviously think a certain way. Which shocked me even further when I see the attitude towards Israel in general today and how my mother could possibly sway towards the illusion of the party that tries to sell the utopian peace but are much more violent than the so-called violent ones that they accuse of being violent. The narrative has changed over the years. I do believe that the people that came here a long time ago when Manhattan was being built and all the other great cities around this country were being built, that the backgrounds in general were of Christian faith. The Bible is under attack, folks. And it's not really to me, although it really should be to everybody, but I don't like to force feed anybody. You can think whatever you want. Isn't that what this country is supposed to be about? Civil dialogue? But it seems to me that the Bible is under attack, and the people that did build this country all those years ago and made this country so great that you could elect a man of any color to become president of the United States, so great that all dialogues and all backgrounds were welcome with open arms, which, by the way, is the Jesus philosophy. Okay. All of this was sabotaged in recent decades by other backgrounds who have come here that don't give two shits about what this country was built on, or more importantly, who this country was built on, and what their moral code was, and what their religious values were. You can hate religion all you want if you choose to do so, but to ignore the fact that so many people in the world take it as truth, you should at least be respectful of the fact that it's there whether you like it or not. So to me, the narrative has changed in a very, very bad way, and everything that this country was built upon is completely under attack, folks. That's my take.
Isn't it true that your opinions need to be heard and not stifled. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, we're
Well,
nothing without it.
here's my example. As I said, minutes before coming on your show, I was on a radio show. And when the man started asking me political questions, we switched to political questions right away. And I started giving my view. And the guy dumped me. Okay, he dumped me 3 times. And I think I said that maybe it was prior to the show, or I just said it in the beginning of the show. But my wife knows I was dumped 3 times because she was listening to the show. He didn't want to hear my views. Okay. And he's listening right now. So I have an opportunity to say it. But let me tell you something. It was about the ICE protests. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. I believe in protesting. This is what we've been doing for many, many, many years. Okay. But when you're trying to go out there and prevent law enforcement from doing their jobs to protect you, there's something wrong with you. You need to go home with your family, have dinner, have reading time with your children, or if you're not married with no children, go out with your friends, go have coffee, go have something to do. But if you don't like our country, get the hell out. Go to Venezuela, go to Colombia. But you know why you won't? Because even they don't want your fat, lazy asses. And I'm going to tell you something right now. The Democrats have got 2 chances of ever taking back the White House, slim and none. But I will say this, and I'm going to put an end to what I've got to say here tonight because I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, you Democrats ever get back into office again? You come to my home in Florida. You try to take away my gas-powered vehicles. You try to take away my liberty and my freedom, my money. And if you try to take away my guns, you're going to meet my 2 little friends, okay? Mr. Taurus and Mr. Ruger, okay? They're loaded. I don't take no bullshit. It's not a threat against anybody, because I am a peaceful man. But there's only so much people can take.
So, Ron, let me play the other side of it, though. Being a religious man, you are a religious man, right, Ron?
That's correct.
How about the moral value of people being sent away or being separated from their children? How about the moral standard there?
Being separated from their children. That's just. I mean, that would rip. Use my mother as an example. That would rip her heart out.
Well, so that's what I'm trying to say. So again, we've got illegal people in this country. Yeah. We've taken a hard line approach with it. I understand it. I understand the country needs it. But on a moral standard, we heard Jimmy talk about Jesus and, whatever religion you are, if you believe in the good of God. Yes. How does that, how do you separate church and state, for lack of a better term?
Well, maybe I shouldn't really answer that. Look, I am a peaceful man. I've never looked for trouble. I'm just going to tell you this. I never looked for trouble in my life. If trouble came at me, I had to defend it, whatever it was, a lawsuit, an actual hands fight. I just had to defend myself because even if I knew I was going to lose, I had to fight. And that's pretty much what I'm going to say about that, Michael.
I'm glad you came on. I want to ask you, Jimmy and I, we didn't have the opportunity to speak to you, but we lost Hulk Hogan. I know it's been a bit. I wanted to get your feedback on Hulk Hogan and the loss of him and your thoughts on maybe how the public treated him late in his life or even the wrestling fans.
There was no reason for Hulk to be treated, in kind of a way that he was. And, everybody loves him, what he did for pro wrestling. Okay. It's like I said, after Hulk Hogan, wrestling died to me. Okay. The 2 biggest legends, as far as I'm concerned, you can call him a legend, are Bruno and the Hulk. But yeah, the way they treated him down the line, look, everybody's got a little bit of dirt under their fingernails. And in today's world, it's publicized, it's looked at, scrutinized, and it's not right. I mean, what did the guy do? Did he ever kill anybody? He just tried to provide for his family. He did what he did. He did what we all would wanted to have done a TV show, done movies, be the world champion for X amount of years and everything. He lived his life to the fullest, but within reason. So yeah, I mean, let's look at the news people and what they try to turn it. Look, it sells. What can I do? You know, whether it's true or not, it sells.
How much of it do you think was political? We all know where he stood.
How much was political? That's hard to say, Jimmy. So how much do you think it was?
Well, you know, I tried to not think of it that way, but Mike pointed out that when he was so mercilessly booed the very last time he made an appearance, it was in, of course, the heart of liberal land in Cali. And, you know, Mike believes it had a lot to do with it. I believe it had some to do with it. I also believe that the younger generations don't understand anything about forgiveness. And I think that that's connected to their internet souls. Because when we were children, we actually had to speak to each other in person. We appreciated when we saw each other. We didn't take for granted that we might not be able to talk to each other anytime soon because we didn't have a handheld device that could just mechanize our relationship.
Yeah.
So basically, if you understand what I'm getting at, I don't think that the younger generations can feel anything for anybody and have very little forgiveness in their hearts whatsoever. This was a wrestler. Like you said, this man didn't kill anybody. This man was caught recorded saying something wrong. And we all know that if someone did that to every single one of us, none of us are leaving the house ever again because no one's perfect.
Yeah. Liberal Hollywood. When somebody does something wrong there, you don't hear it. You don't hear too much about it, right? Liberal Hollywood. Matter of fact, you even got the California liberal donors already donating to Gavin Newsom, okay? Because he supposedly is going to run in 2028. Let him run. There's no way that guy can get elected. He's a fraud. Just like how we found out the governor of Minnesota now is a big fraud. He's going to be looked at for $1 billion of money that he sent to terrorist organization. I never heard of such a thing in my life. Why isn't he in handcuffs right now?
What were your thoughts on some of the? I almost completely removed myself from the internet after Charlie Kirk's assassination, murder. What were your thoughts on some of the horrendous, soulless things being said by people? The man is not even cold yet, and some of the things that were being said made me want to never look at the phone ever again. The internet.
This is a hateful country right now, but it was like I said earlier, is that it's a small percentage. It may look bigger than life, but it's a small percentage because we know everybody voted President Trump. He had the majority vote. He had every swing state. So it was a landslide, however you want to look at it. Okay. But these people, you're right. You see some of these ugly things like some big fat school teacher walking around in front of the camera going like this into his neck. Are you proud of yourself? Do you go home at night and talk to your children about what you did today in front of the cameras? I mean, there are some real sick individuals out there. It just disgusts me.
How are we supposed to reason with people who will put Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler in the same sentence? I ask you this. I'll ask anybody this. Would Adolf Hitler sit down and wager peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis? I'm not really sure how these two things go in the same sentence. And even after the fact that they have agreed to peace, to some level, is a miracle on any presidential watch. By the way, folks, in case you're not paying attention, it takes a lot of balls to do what just happened here. Yeah. And instead, we're still being compared to Hitler. Any thoughts on that comparative?
We're being compared to probably one of the worst in history, right? But like I say, you're gonna have this until Trump is out of office. You're going to be hearing this. It doesn't matter what Trump does. He could cure cancer. Okay, he could do the most wonderful things that mankind, that maybe God couldn't even do. And believe me, I think President Trump is here because of God, so he can change this country around and maybe put it on the right track finally. That's what I sincerely believe.
You don't believe the narrative would continue if, let's say, J.D. Vance was the next president? I believe the narrative will continue.
I agree.
Well,
Right.
before you give us our flowers, Ron, because we all know that we're the greatest podcast show in the world. I don't know what a podcast show is, Ron, but anyway, I wanted to get an opportunity. We all know Bob Backlund, which we had the greatest interview with him. You don't hear much of him anymore. Everybody knows he's suffering from Alzheimer's, and we know how that disease can cripple people. And you were around during Bob Backlund, and Jimmy and I wanted to ask a legend like yourself. You were on cards with him, everything else. Was Bob Backlund, did the McMahons fill the card up because Backlund truly wasn't a draw? And can you tell us what Bob Backlund meant to wrestling? Your honest opinion, sir.
I think the first part of your question is did they load the card up because maybe Bob Backlund wasn't drawing? I have to say no to that. I don't believe so. Don't get me wrong. We all look at certain of these entertainers, wrestlers as well, and these are our individual opinions. Maybe in your book, Bob Backlund wasn't a proper champion. And Michael's book, maybe he was the proper champion, and I was maybe split between them. You know what I mean? I didn't see Bob Backlund really as a world champion for the length of time that he was the world champion. Okay. Even though he was a tremendous amateur wrestler, and one of the matches I had with him on TV, we did do some amateur wrestling. Okay. Until I stiffed him in the ribs with a boot. Yeah, but let's put that part to the side. And I have to say, look, I've talked to Bob many a times, and you're right. I wrestled him many times. I wrestled him for the world championship when I was the executioner. Okay, and it was a small little Jersey town, but nevertheless, it was what it was. And I wrestled Bob in the Capitol Center, another big town, and everything. But he was a very, very kind individual. He came back to the dressing room and he says, Ron, he goes, thank you for putting me over. Real gentleman. He goes, take your wife out to dinner. He's handing me a $50 bill. And I can't take that. Come on. I can't take that. He said, Ron, he goes, really, it would mean something to me if you do that for me. Okay, Bob. Thank you. Now, I don't know if he did that to all the guys, like, in my position, which is putting the guys over and so forth. Okay, the undercard. I don't know if he did that to other people, or maybe he sold something to me that, maybe I was a good worker. I was not causing trouble, and I was quiet back in the dressing room. You know what I mean? I kind of stuck to myself because I learned from Kowalski. He goes, don't stick your nose in business that don't belong. Okay, just sit there, relax. If you're spoken to, okay, talk back. But you can have a conversation with people. Okay, but Bob Backlund was a great guy, and it's sad to hear that's happening.
One last question, and I was bored one day. I was watching that Andre the Giant documentary, and of course, there's Big Ron Shaw in one of the clips. I guess you were in some kind of 2-on-1 match or something, and I was thinking
to me something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, because you're a big man, right? And I'm like, what was Andre like to work with?
Andre,
how did he treat you?
Wow, Andre liked me. Everything come back and, hiya, boss, how you doing? And they talk a little bit, and but to work with, the guy was a true professional. It didn't look like he was going to hurt you. You were wondering, but you just had to go with the flow, But he didn't hurt me at all. He could do that big leapfrog jump on you. Never touched you hardly. Never touched you, And another great guy. And I got 2 of those matches I will treasure forever. Me wrestling Andre.
All right, Ron, lay it on me and Jimmy. Tell us that we're the greatest of all time. We are waiting to hear. I want you to say, Monte, you and Jimmy are the greatest hosts in the world of professional wrestling. Go ahead, Ron.
You guys are going to get big heads from this. And then first of all, I want to thank you for the last 3 months of me opening up your show, telling you guys you were number one. I didn't know nothing about this, okay, until I started doing a little research. Now, this is from a company. I'm not going to say who they are. There was a big write-up, okay? And what I did is I took the meat of this write-up, and I'm going to read it to you right now, okay? So here it goes. In the world of professional wrestling podcasts, where many are born and many die each year, there are only a few that continue to excel to the top of our ratings list. Okay. One of those on our radar is the Monte and the Pharaoh variety show based on Long Island, New York, with over 1 million views each week on internet and cable. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, we know that. Yes, thank you.
They are popular, uncensored, known for raw, honest, and controversial interviews with wrestling legends, even provoking guests to attack the hosts and wrestlers walking off the show.
There you go. Remember that? Do you remember that? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, due to
you would think that day, but that's all right. We got
unrelenting questioning. We continue to watch the show as we expect it to reach number 1 in the world, possibly in the mid to late 2026. Now, isn't that great? And here's another thing. This is something that I'm going to talk about more. But I always get people, because I've done a lot since 2015 when I started my website. People started calling me, and I'm doing radio shows, I'm doing newspaper interviews, and the podcast shows, which I love the most. They've asked me, who are your top 3 podcast shows to do, right? Well, it's a no-brainer. Like, come on. You guys have had me on 4 times already, right?
Yeah.
But the number 1 is the wrestling shoot interview guy that's over the pond, Mr. James Romero. He had me do an interview for 2 hours, okay? And he shot questions at me that I've never answered any other shows after that. He did this thing called firing line, which was great. Or he'd fire, and he let me know. I'm going to fire questions at you, Ryan, and you fire answers back as fast as you can and see if you can get them answered, right? So that was fun, and he's a great gentleman. Number 2 is, well, there we go again, is the Player Internet Entertainment Network, which your host, Benny Scala. Okay, this new show is fantastic. He's got 3 to 4 wrestling historians on the show, okay? And they talk about the deepest, darkest part of professional wrestling that nobody else has. Plus, Mr. Scala, Benny, I've been on his show 3 times with Dan and Benny. And I'll tell you something, I need to get back on this show because I really gave up doing podcast shows. Okay, so I need to get back on Mr. Scala's show.
Ron, you feeling all right?
No, come on. Look.
You feeling all right? I'm just checking. Oh, you were like saying the whole show. I'm just trying to,
Don't worry. Here's the thing, is that, he also has this true crime little thing that goes on once a week. He's got the My IWF family there, Brittany Brown, and Dangerous Dave Starr, with some great.
Dangerous.
Well, okay, look, But number 3 is...
Wait, hold on. Ron, you know that I don't get along with that guy. We've spoken about that.
Who's that? Who? Benny?
Yes, Benny, yeah. Right?
Oh, I didn't.
Go ahead. Anyway, so it's good to hear that James Romero and Benny Scala are number 1 and 2. But go ahead. That's great.
Number 3 are you guys. But I have to say you're tied with the Pro Wrestling Zone guy, Professor Rick Del Santo. Look, I want to tell you why. Because you guys are a little crude. You don't really draw the 13-year-old kids. You're really an R-rated show. You got people swearing left and right. Rick Del Santo doesn't. None of the other guys I've done have swearing shows like you guys. Are typical New York guys, man. You tell it as it is. But let me tell you something.
You really want to get the number for Trump?
Jimmy, look, Jimmy, shut the fuck up, will you? I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ! Don't interrupt me. I'm helping you out. Now you got to tell me one thing. If you want to get to be number 1, look. If you want to get to be number 1, where's he going?
No. Go ahead, Ron.
If you want to be number 1, you got to cut the foul mouth crap off. Okay? Jimmy, what is that, a cat? If my dog was out here right now, man, he'd be coming right through that monitor right after that cat and tear him into shreds.
I just wanted to have a witness to your stupidity. Do continue, Mr. Shaw.
All right, we're going to go there?
All right.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just trying to
talk. You open the door. You open the fucking door. Oh, did I just say fucking? Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
All right. But here's the thing. Look, all right, Jimmy, look, I'm going to make you feel good for a second. Will you please?
No, please don't.
Look,
I'm not
you guys had this show how long? How long have you guys had this show on?
Well, right now it feels too long, but go ahead.
How many years, Michael?
I don't know, Ron, 8, something like that. I have no clue.
Okay. All right. Look, when you guys started the show, and Michael, if you would have started this show on your own without Jimmy, you would have been a miserable failure at it. Okay. Jimmy carries the show. Jimmy really carries it. And Jimmy, don't you agree with me?
No.
I mean seriously.
No, I don't. No,
Michael,
I don't.
look.
I've heard this bullshit rhetoric before, by the way.
Michael,
So no,
Michael,
I don't.
look, when you guys are on, Michael's on the screen. He's doing this, reading the screen the whole damn time. He's like that. He's got no personality, no charisma.
What?
No, he's got no personality.
Right.
He's
Wow.
look, he's
But Benny Scala does, though, right?
he's that. All right, look, let's drop Benny right now from the. But what I'm saying is that
Ron,
you know, you really know nothing about nothing. You know professional wrestling. You don't know nothing about hockey. You don't know nothing about football. You don't know nothing about baseball.
Hockey?
Now, sometimes these subjects come up, right?
Hockey.
Now, baseball, Michael, you definitely don't know nothing
we have
about baseball.
Goon on or something from ECW?
So when you
Goon?
look, when you guys had the Maestro on earlier this year, right? You played my video of me throwing out the first pitch of the minor league game, the farm team of the Minnesota Twins. Okay.
Nice ball.
And then, Michael, you asked Jimmy, what did you think of Ron's pitch? Jimmy says, well, yeah, he flicked his foot up, to deliver the pitch is what you got to do to deliver a pitch, right? I kicked my feet up, right? You said that, Jimmy. And then Michael asked the Maestro. The Maestro says, yeah, he's got potential. And he did. It's all on tape. But Michael, you didn't like it. And you weren't kidding around. You said you didn't like it. What do you know about baseball? Now, I'm 68 years old, Michael. You're what, 62, 63?
No.
Whoa, slow down.
No, not quite, but that's okay. Keep going.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know you guys' age. I'm 68 years old. Okay. I golf 3 to 4 times a week. I lift weights 3 to 4 times a week. I still jog, Michael. And let me tell you something. When's the last time you bent down and touched your toes? When's the last time, Michael, you had a good look at it, except when you're getting ready to take a shower and you looked in the mirror and said, oh, there it is. Haven't seen it for a while, but there it is. Okay. And,
Somebody's having fun.
I guess so.
I just thought of that. I'm telling you. That's beautiful. I'm glad
He's
you're
turning
laughing.
all red.
We're friends. Look, friends can laugh about things like that, right?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So,
But you know what I laugh about, Ron?
What?
I think about, remember that first show we came on that I really didn't want you on because Jimmy was this big fan, and I was like, what do we got this fucking guy on for? And then you had your little baby temper tantrum, and then we did the
baby tantrum. Come on, don't give me that baby tantrum.
Well, you did.
I had reason, Michael, because you disrespected me like that guy on the AM radio did just earlier before the show. You disrespected me.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. So we apologize. I thought it all worked out. We bring you on for a fourth time.
We'll get to that part too. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
Let me just say this. You didn't like my pitch. Now, did you like George Steele's pitch? Okay. You see George Steele throw his pitch at a ball game? Google it.
Ron,
Okay,
you seem butthurt because we made a joke about your pitch. Listen,
No,
Ron, for a
you were
68-year-old, it wasn't bad. Okay,
You were serious though. Look,
of course, but listen, for the
pitch,
68-year-old, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a good pitch.
Okay, I was 2 inches off the rubber because they told me not to go in the rubber.
I
I
said
threw a
rubber.
slider over the plate was the first pitch. I didn't want the people to think it was a fluke, right? So I had them throw me back the ball, and this time I threw a slider right down the middle. 2 strikes in a row. George Steele stepped off the mound to throw to the catcher, never made the catcher. The Woo Man himself, Nature Boy Ric Flair, did the same thing. He was completely off the mound, never made it to the catcher. But I guess they were great, right? You loved their pitches, right? Didn't you, Michael? Didn't
you? They are icons. Just saying.
Oh, you said I'm an icon, didn't you? Several times.
Listen. In Monte the Pharaoh's world, you are an icon. I actually thought you were a friend, but I don't know. But go ahead, Ron. I actually find this hilarious because there's nothing like helping out a professional wrestler who's retired, putting on a great show, and then he dicks you from behind because he's probably talking privately to the schmuck you were talking about earlier. and say, "Oh, I got these guys. I'll set them up and make you look over." No, whatever. Go ahead, Ron. Okay.
Right. Well, look, that's the way I see it. Jimmy, Michael, you had me on another show where you were
real quick, Ron. I don't mean to interrupt, but if you ever think you're going to turn me and Jimmy against each other, it's not going to happen. So you could play that stupid game.
I'm not trying to do that. What's in it for me? If
Mike sucks. You're great. Mike sucks.
No.
Stop it.
You're just a little different from everybody else. From all the interviews that I've done, you're just a little bit different from everybody else. That's all.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I'm telling you because we're friends. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's great.
you have me on the show.
Hey, Ron.
You bring me on the show.
Ron, are we still friends? You told me to shut the fuck
Absolutely.
up.
We're all friends.
Well, if you tell your friend to shut the fuck up, what do you say after that?
All right. Look, I didn't mean it. I hurt your feelings. I apologize.
No, I don't have any feelings. Let's make
all right.
that
You don't
clear.
have any feelings. Well, then
listen, Ron.
shut the fuck up then. All right.
Listen, Ron. Here's the deal.
I'll say
I understand
Friends
friends can certainly give constructive criticism. So go ahead. I'm willing to listen.
You had me on another show. Okay, we were talking about that lady referee. I forget her name from the WWE.
Rita Charlton.
Right. And then we were talking about Mr. Mancini and Mr. Roma. And I know what you were really looking for me to really bash these guys and what I could. But I'm just giving my honest opinion. Okay. And there was one thing I did say which kind of like, well, the guys, they talk, they this, but they're not really that bad and so forth. It seemed like you didn't like that when I said that. It's like you're expecting me to bash people like you bash people all the time. Okay. So I got to say this, Michael.
Wait a minute. Did you say we ask you to bash people all the time?
No, I didn't say you asked me.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed it. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
It seems like you wanted me to bash people when I didn't put down somebody at a certain time and point and this and that. But that's okay. That's what makes you guys number 3. Okay. So
what the fuck? Go ahead, Ron. Jeez.
All right. So now you have me on the apology show,
wow.
which I thought was, going to be something that maybe I wasn't going to do, but your guys paid me to be on the show. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. Nothing wrong with payday. You don't get paid you don't get paid on these podcast shows. Okay.
Except us, right?
You guys have been a little generous to me. Okay. So, Michael, you when your apology, and let me just call it a cheap and sincere apology, because that's really what it was. Because after you apologized to me that same night, I had a lot of the podcasters call me up and say, "Why did you accept that cheap and sincere apology?" I said, "Because I wanted to get this over with." Okay, I got other things to do. I got a life to do. I don't have to do podcast shows. I don't got to worry about booking people down the road and all that type of stuff. I'm retired. Okay, I got my own life. Okay, but Michael, when you said your beautiful wife, your beautiful child, and Jimmy kind of pushed you to give me that apology. Well, I thought that was the insulting part about it. Couldn't you have come up on your own to give me that apology? I mean, Michael, what did she do? Did she go like this? She slap you in the back of the head? Michael, apologize to Rancho. Michael, take out the dog. Michael, take out the trash. Is that the way your life is? Michael, go take a walk. You're too fat. Michael, what? I mean, really, put the damn pants back on in your life. Because I got to tell you this. I got to tell you this right now,
Mike. If
you might cut me out here, and I'm not going to stand for that. Nobody's going to ever cut me off.
Well, I was kind of hoping if I could get
maybe Mr. Mancini and Mr. Roma are not such bad guys after all. Maybe it's you, Michael, that needs to be put on the couch and looked at a little bit, because you just you never did like me, did you? Really? That cheap and sincere apology, right?
Ron, I'm going to tell you. Okay, can I speak now?
Go ahead.
Ron, honestly, I actually don't fucking like you. Fuck you, dick.
Oh.
How about that? See how easy that is?
That was pretty easy. I was hoping, because I was trying to say, is there a third strike for calling me to tell me to shut the fuck up? The third one, I was hoping there was like a rule you would. Nice job. Thank you. Appreciate that. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, man. I got to tell you something.
What the fuck
I'm going to tell people out there. So me and Jimmy have been going back and forth, right? Because this fucking wrestling world, and we get me more than him get involved with these fucking other podcasters, fighting with the other podcasters. Last week we have a problem with Hannibal and all this other bullshit. And it's like, you think you trust these people, right? You think you trust these people. And it's like,
Not anymore.
dude, that guy had to be talking to some asshole behind the scenes, as usual.
Well, it's the same old.
I thought he was joking at first, but then he just kept going and going.
I don't know. What do you want me to say about this fucking retarded scene? What do you really want me to say? Like you said, we go back and forth privately about this stuff. This has been going on from day one, and I tried to tell you a long time ago, I don't trust anybody anymore, and it just gets more and more. It just piles on more and more. You can see it more and more with everybody. What do I keep telling you, though, in private conversations? Just like the good book says, pigs return to the vomit. Goodbye, whoever you were, whoever I thought you were, whoever I hoped you would be. Goodbye. Once again, into the circular file you go. I'm different from you as far as that's it. People need to understand something, though. All right. So, Mike, I hope you give me a couple seconds to get this out the right way.
I'm listening.
All right. People got to understand something. Okay.
I just gotta tell you, I'm just like so tired of this shit.
I'm beyond. I'm beyond. All right. I don't make my public stances as far as my private life goes. I don't do it. I have been through a lot of shit. Okay, especially recently, and the bottom line is this: in the 8 years that Mike and I have been doing this show, and I've known Mike for over 40. The bottom line is this: with all the shit that I've been through, only 3 people in my universe check on me to see if I'm alive and I'm okay. You're one of them. All right? I am still existing right now currently because, in part, due to this show. All right? The ability to still survive. Okay? There are things about our relationship that is, quite honestly, at the end of the day, none of your fucking business out there, all right? As far as it goes, I'm good with everybody who's not done right by us. I don't give a fuck. Move on. Do your thing. Whatever. Now, as far as Mike goes, that's up to Mike. We're all big boys. At least I would like to think we are. So, as for Ron Short, what the fuck? I don't even know what the fuck that was. And quite honestly, I don't care. I'm
Jimmy,
so numb.
Jimmy,
How
you
was
know
I at
what?
the big
Listen,
event? You think I gave 2 fucks? Would anybody fucking had to say? I don't fucking care.
I know, but it's like,
care.
look, I don't know.
It's hard to care in a carny of fools. And that's what in general, that's what this business is.
They got
in general, there's some good people, but in general, everyone's playing everybody, and we're onto it. That's what separates us. That's
right.
what people hate about us.
Right.
You don't get compared to Howard Stern, and no, you fucktards, not the current Howard Stern. We've been compared to the vintage Howard Stern from the moment we got on television. That goofball from 350 Days was one of the first people to recognize right away we were different. That's what separates us. Okay? So all you folks, whatever, have your private beefs with whoever, whatever, just good luck to you. I'm good. Leave me alone. Life goes on. Whatever. Sorry, Mike.
No, dude, it is what it is. Look, you know what? I'm not going to say I saw it or coming because, again, I don't check in on Ron Shaw enough. But, again, I know he still talks to people.
I don't care.
Whatever, dude. It's this fucking internet fucking community of people that think they're in the wrestling. Listen, I'm going to say it again for the 100th time. Jimmy and I are not in the wrestling business. We do a show, try to entertain people, have some famous wrestlers on, right? Right? Ron Shaw is a famous wrestler, right? Fucking Scott Hall. The list is long. We've had them all.
Stop right there. Is he? Scott Hall? Yeah. Yeah, that's a famous wrestler. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I put Ron Shaw and the Johnny Rods. Like, look, being a WWE guy, right? Like Ron Shaw, Johnny Rods, Jose Estrada, they're all to
Understand.
me to me iconic.
Understand. I kind
You
of put
know,
Johnny a little bit above them, but I get it. I
listen,
get the
dude. Way
grouping.
back when he came on, it wasn't that I didn't want him on, but he
Oh,
had just done the show with the number one show, the kid in England. I guess that's his number one show. He answered every question that you can answer. What are we gonna just fucking regurge up again? Do you follow what I'm saying? That's why I didn't want him on. It wasn't like I didn't think he wasn't special in the industry.
right. Right.
Anyway, you know what the problem is, dude? I just, again, I don't know how it's happening, and I'm not mentioning names, but these fucking little rats in this little wrestling industry seem to get to some of these guys. I don't know how, and then
Well, let him.
yeah, but dude, that was Bush. That whole thing was Bush right there.
Of course it was Bush, but that's the whole tactic. It comes
Wait
from
a minute,
Bush.
dude. You fucking run the dude's ads and for fucking 3 months, and you get fucked in like, you know. Again, I don't know. I don't know. Listen, it doesn't bother me as much as it did way back. I've kind of gotten over it. What bothered me more, I thought he thought I was 63. That bothers me.
Yeah, that was way out of bounds. Slow down.
I mean, what the fuck,
Well,
dude?
we won't be there till a couple of presidential elections. Leave me alone. I mean,
Well,
what
but
are you
you,
talking about?
well, you know, I'm a little sensitive to it because at work, a couple of my employees thought I was 63. They thought I was retiring in 2 years, and I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me right now?
Right. Dude, you know me. I'm a fucking lunatic. You don't tell me to shut the fuck up. I'm like thinking of steak knives and stuff like that. You can't talk to me like that. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it was a little. I don't know, man. I'm a little disappointed, but you
You know,
know what?
by
Whatever.
by the way, just to clarify for those out there, like, you know, what I have said previously about these sorts of people, it's many people. So if you think that I'm just talking to like one person or two people, I'm not. I'm talking to like over a dozen we've come across over the years. Hey, buddy, let me sponge onto you, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, let me pretend that you had nothing to do with nothing because I don't like you anymore.
Right.
And well, this shoe fits better for me now. And no, fuck off, all of you, all of you.
I've sucked all the blood out of you,
Fuck.
and then let's you know.
It's
And
just-
how about this?
oh,
I mean, I'll give Ron Short his credit. He uses his real fucking name. These other fucking guys, they're like, they use these fake stage names. Not
well,
again,
I'm the
not
Pharaoh. What the
you,
fuck am I gonna
not
say
you.
about
That's a
that,
different
you know?
situation. What I'm trying to say is, it's like they, well, you know what I'm getting at. They just use
Right.
these fucking names. It's
Right.
fucking annoying. Anyway, I wanted to ask you because you weren't on the show last week.
Yeah.
What did you think of Marty Jannetty? He's getting a lot of heat for the channel.
Yeah.
Hannibal seems to be very focused on us right now. What are you thinking about that?
Oh, Hannibal's going to beat us up. That's what I saw. Yeah.
So
Gonna
I'm going
beat-
to
gonna beat
tell
us up.
everybody out there.
Okay.
I've got something.
Here
We
we go.
have something very special for Hannibal.
This guy's
And for
whack.
all the
He's
what's that?
wackadoo. He's fucking wackadoo, bro. Bob wackadoo.
How soon do you think before this guy kills somebody, dude?
Well, let's hope it's not us. I don't like his odds. I don't like the odds. It's just leave us alone, please, you fucking weirdo. Seriously.
Well, we're gonna, we're just waiting for some information, but me and Jimmy got a really big surprise, and it's going to be very exciting. So fans don't want to miss it because
Hi.
Hannibal has become our special project now. He is now our special project.
Our special project. He's a special project. Why is he our special project?
I want to remind everybody.
What are you gonna do? Send him a fucking case of yo-yos? What are you gonna do? Wait, send him some slinkies to keep him occupied so he won't post and bore us to death? Do
you think
do?
do you think he plays with a slinky?
He probably plays with his own slinky.
Dude, how
Watch
fucked up
it
was
go.
our lives that the toys that we had was slinky?
Watch it go up and down the stairs.
What do you think the margins were on a slinky?
The what?
The margins, sale margins.
What are you asking me? Like, how many did they sell?
No, so for example, cost of goods sold, right? So again,
Yeah.
I'm talking in that. So it's like a slinky is what? A piece of metal
Right.
and they mold it a certain way, right?
Yeah.
How much do you think the metal cost? And what did a slinky sell for? 10, 15 bucks?
I don't remember, dude. That's so long ago. Look at that thing. You know what the best part was? Did you ever try to like pull it apart? You can never get it back together.
No, you couldn't.
Once you
But that's
did
what I'm
that,
trying to say. The cost of a slinky to make it, right?
Right.
After probably they made
made
it
a
in this
fortune.
country at that point. Probably cost $1. And
Right.
the margins had to be like fucking
Markup was probably 10 to 15 times. Is that what you're
oh
getting
my
at?
God. And who's the idiot kids like us who played with Slinky? Oh, let's put it on the stairs and have it roll down.
What about, remember the thing called slime that came in the garbage pail?
Yeah.
It was ooze. It's like, why are you giving us that? And why are you giving kids, well, not us as boys, but why are you giving little girls easy bake ovens that plug in and can overheat and burn the house down?
Oh, dude, it was a light bulb.
Yeah, I know, but there were
And you probably got
instances where-
sick because the shit wasn't cooked. And it's like, what did we do as kids? How about cereal, dude? Like Count Chocula.
Oh,
It's like, did
Death
you
in
have
a
enough
box.
sugar to? It's instant
Death in a box.
diabetes. Yeah.
yeah, it was death in a box. Absolutely. The Twinkies back in the day, one bite of it was like 10 days worth of sugar.
Before you know it, after eating all that food, playing with a slinky, right? Eating all that food, playing with a slinky. What
Big
else was
wheel.
bad for us? Eating easy bake oven. If you're lucky enough to live to 70 years old.
What about
You know-
Pop Rocks? Those had to be great for your teeth.
Yeah, exact. Pop Rocks. After all this is what you end up looking like.
Oh, come on. What is that?
That is the outcome of an easy bake oven.
I'll tell you who's baked right now.
Dude, I got to tell you, Ron,
Wait,
if you're watching the show still,
Mike,
if
I
you
gotta
watch-
stop you right.
go ahead.
Is the pose included in the action figure? The pose you just did? Because
Yeah.
I can't. What are you doing? Come on. All right.
Ron, if you listen to the show, I'm disappointed in you. I don't know who got to you. And it was, you know what? It was amusing, Ron. So great job. Congratulations. What you accomplished is never coming back on the show again. So have a good one.
Ron, if you're listening right now, fuck off. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So upcoming tomorrow, guys, on a Friday night special. We have, hold on, I'll put my glasses on because I can't read. I have his name and I can pronounce it, but I just want to make sure I say it right.
I think I've aged about 5 years since this show started, but go ahead.
I know, dude. Frank Dusek, WCCW legend. And then on Saturday night, we have a special appearance with the great Shelly Martinez in a Christmas party spectacular where we will be drinking and celebrating Christmas with everybody out there. So we're asking everybody to join us.
Shelly's becoming like a holiday thing with us.
Yeah. I got to tell you something about her, man. She's like super duper honest, and I kind of really like that about her.
Okay.
I mean, how about this? She's an open book. How's that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's very cool. From what we've seen of her, I think she's fantastic. She's also a 10. There's that too.
Well, she's a 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Come on. We already decided that, dude.
Yeah.
We changed that to an 8, didn't we?
No, you tried to penalize her, and I talked you out of it. I explained to you that there's different levels of 10.
Different levels of 10.
Right.
I gotcha.
Right.
I gotcha. So we got Shelly Martinez on Saturday night. So we got Frank Dusek, Shelly Martinez. You did have Ron Shaw until he decided to fuck up the interview on us. So that's, you know, what are you going to do?
Nothing.
I mean, listen, I really did appreciate his political talks. I did. And I really liked his thought processes on Backlund and Hogan, really. You know what I mean? I thought it was pretty good. And Andre.
You know what I wanted to ask him, but we didn't get to it because he went into his left-wing diatribe as far as podcasting goes, which made me want to vomit. I wanted to ask him, he felt that they kept the belt on Backlund too long. I wanted to ask him who he thought that they should have given the belt to and at what point, because Ron was there for Bob's entire run.
He probably wanted the kid from England to be the champion.
Oh, and by the way, the kid from England is such a hypocrite because if you see his most recent thumbnails, he tried to play the high holy ground with us, with the Dutch Mantel bullshit back in the day, and
Right.
the high holy ground. Oh, these two, whatever we are,
Yeah.
these clowns from New York or whatever, like standing on his fucking Big Ben clock, like, oh, I'm so superior.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
superior.
So, his thumbnails recently are just as National Enquirer as anything else out there. So it's like, dude, who are you fucking kidding,
Are you
man?
trying to say that our thumbnails are National Enquirer?
No, but what I am trying to say is that we've always been accused of being too towards that, obviously. So, well, monkey see, monkey do, motherfucker, mate.
And dude,
You
by the
know?
way, that kid from England is one arrogant piece of shit. I
No
just don't like him.
kidding.
He's so
No,
arrogant, Jimmy.
no kidding. It's like,
Look at this
okay,
guy's face. Come on, look at this fucking
yeah,
guy.
yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm intimidated. Look at that.
He should have been a wrestler, that guy.
That's like a palm shove to the nose. Get the fuck out of here. Get him off my screen. Thank you. Fuck out of here, you
Anyway,
bitch.
let me read some comments and we'll head on out, guys. I'm sorry that the interview had said. Let me say, Phil says Shelley has one of the hottest voices ever. Phil, you're not going to hear an argument from me, brother.
Phil hung in for the whole show. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let me see what else we got here. Jason said, had a slinky. It was had a chia pet, had mad balls, had Rubik's Cube. Jason, you just bought into the whole fucking scam of the world, buddy.
G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Hannibal, you are now their project. Now you heard that. I smell pulp fiction basement scene. You are our project, my friend. It is on. That's all I got to say. What do we got here? Wrestling fan since 40 years. Never heard of Ron Shaw. That's not fair. That's not fair.
It's rough.
Who wrote that? Let's see. Is this fair? Is that a fair comment? Wrestling fan for 40 years, never heard of Ron Shaw. Come on, man.
Well,
that's not fair.
That would put him back to 1986, right? Coming up.
Ron is the best wrestler that WWE ever had on its roster. Just ask him. That's some good comments, dude. I should have went to these earlier. What's this one got to say? Maria Davis. Ron Shaw, the first lady of wrestling, when she speaks, everybody listens. Ron Shaw made anything, never made anything of his wrestling career. He's jealous and not very good when he did wrestle. Oh, my God.
Look at Maria. Oh, my God.
The Monte family is angry right now because Ron, hey, listen, when you turn on us with your little bullshit trickery, the family will turn. And that's what's happening right now.
Hey, Mike, am I allowed to, say that, look, we process things differently.
Go ahead.
Some of these people that have burned us, actually, I'm very upset about, as far as we actually thought they were, friends, some of them and stuff like that. And
sure.
That part sucks. It does suck. But anyone who thinks, and I even remember way, way, way back in the early days, anybody who thought that I would ever do anything other than continue to do what we've always done, because not only do I buy into you as my friend, I buy into you as to what we discussed and what we've agreed upon to do for years and years and years.
Right.
So it's like, hey guys, nothing personal. Whatever your issues are, I would suggest just fucking getting through them. It's just not going to help anybody anyway.
I'm gonna say this, Jimmy. What bothers me is I didn't see it coming. Like, if I would have saw it coming, I would have felt okay.
I always see it coming, though. That's what sucks.
You saw this coming from Ron? Like, you felt it?
No, not from Ron. No, not from Ron.
No, but I'm saying, like, that's the thing. Like, I could usually smell this type of shit. I was not prepared. He caught me on this one.
Right. Well, you know what's weird, though? In the beginning, when something like this would happen, I would, get all crazy, and it because we've seen it on tape. Look what happened with Marty. I lost my mind when he hit you. You know what I mean? Now, why do I feel nothing? Can you help me out?
No, because we've been burnt so many times. You know
is
what I mean?
What this is? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Like people who come on your show, you have steak dinners with them, and then you realize that they're completely full of shit when the chips are down. You don't fucking. You don't hear from them at all.
Jimmy, the bigger problem is I don't like being outsmarted. I was outsmarted on this one. So, whatever, man. I hope it worked out for him. Good job.
Why do you process it? Why do you process it as being outsmarted? We had him on. He's a guest. He's been on before. What's the outsmarting part? He tried to do some sort of fucked up shoot on us, and we bounced him off like the bitch he was.
That is the good part about being in even though I'm sucky at production, that is the good part.
I was wondering because I thought to myself, if he says "shut up, motherfucker" for a third time, you better have an out button. And thankfully, we got to it before it happened. But
to be honest with you, that's why he pisses me off because I thought he was like it was a shtick. I thought it was a shtick at first, so I was laughing, ha ha ha. And then all of a sudden, he just kept going, and then he just kept taking deeper and deeper shots at me. Like, what the fuck, bro? And then I was like, this motherfucker, like, really?
Right. Oh, can we talk about the elephant in the room though? The narrative about the dynamic of this show between you and me.
Right.
What is this fucking nonsense about? I don't like hearing it. I'm sorry. I don't like hearing like when Ron starts blurring. Oh, you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that. Doesn't anybody realize that it's the combination that makes this? I would never want to do something. I know I think you're honestly more comfortable doing something on your own than I am. I like to collaborate. I've always liked to work with someone because I actually still believe in humanity working together at the end of the day. Isn't that ridiculous of me? But I've always felt like whether it's
Jimmy,
or whether it's Tom Cavanaugh in the past with War Dance, or whether it's Bobby Sexton with there's someone that I like to work with. And Bart, especially also. I mean, my God.
But Jimmy, the fact is, the show was built around you. It was built around your humor, right? Which is fine. But for him to call me talentless, that's like, come on, dude. Really, I'm talentless?
No,
I'm not talentless. I mean, holy shit, everybody's got talent.
Stop. Just stop it. I mean, I got to spell it out for people? You're the bus driver. You drive the fucking vehicle. I mean, sure, I'm in the front seat hanging out with you, but I'm the asshole rolling the joint while you're driving.
I'm going to be honest with you here, Jimmy. This is what I believed happened. Hey. I believed he's been scheduled for the show for a long time. Okay.
Right.
Probably by design now because he told me when he could come on. Okay. So it wasn't like I was saying, okay, here's your date. He gave me a specific date. So he must have been talking to people and they're like, you know what? Let's fuck up their show. Okay. So I am telling you, I have ideas who it could be. It doesn't matter. But my point is, what I'm thinking is they probably said, look, talk up Jimmy and see if we can get them to like fight with each other, right? Which it's stupid, right? It's not going to happen between us. We just don't do that, right? So that's my own point, dude. That's, that's the only thing I could think of. And you know what? Whatever. Or maybe he thinks I am a talentless fuck, but I mean, I don't think that's a fair critique. I mean, come on. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break.
He's not as good as Johnny Rods, man. I'm not going there.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? Even though, that's a funny thing. If it was 3 years ago, I'd be fucking pissed right now and I wouldn't be able to get over it. But right now, it's like, look, to me, the guy was an iconic wrestler in the WWF. I was a WWF guy. He gave us, he had that first interview where he just acted stupid, but he's come on 2 other times. He's been nothing but a gentleman. So you know what? Here's the deal. So he's made his bed now. Now you can go on some other goddamn show, and that's it. End of story. I'm not really hurt by it, is what I'm trying to say. I'm like I said, I'm more disappointed that he finagled this and got over me. You know what I mean? Steve Codenberg says, I've heard of Ron Shaw. I couldn't remember any of the matches, so I Googled them. First video show up was David Sammartino versus Jobber Ron Shaw. Poor Ron.
Hey, what do you think? What do you think would happen in reality scope if David and Ron went at it? I'm just curious. I never asked you that strange question before.
Say that again, Jimmy. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. What do you? Silly wrestling question. What do you think would have happened if they really had fought David and Ron?
I think Ron would have fucked him up. Ron was not a small guy, dude. I mean, I'm not, you know.
Did David inherit any of his father's? Because I do believe Bruno would have slapped Ron all over the place. I'm just curious.
Ripshot say it was pretty funny to hear him say you need to cut down your language to appeal to kids after waving the Ruger around. That's a good point. He fucking pulls out guns on air. Shut your mouth.
What puzzles me even more is knowing how he thinks. He thinks a lot the way we think about stuff, and then he goes on that diatribe. It's like, what was that?
Because in this special pond that we live in this pond, you never know what's going to happen with the whatever, man. Listen, you bet on a horse. Now you bet on your horse. That's it. Let's see what happens. I'm not, again, I'm right now focused on Hannibal, right? That's where the focus is going. And we'll get back to Ron Shaw afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Put Ron Shaw on the shelf for a little while. We'll get back. We don't forget anything, guys. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm kind of pissed that I missed the whole Marty thing, by the way.
You know what, Jimmy? It happens. And you know what? It's our show, and it's whatever.
Have you heard from Marty since Hannibal threatened to beat all three of us up?
Yes.
What does Marty have to say?
Marty wants to fight him.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not listen, dude, I'm not fighting him.
I didn't say nothing about me, man.
It's like, I'm not fighting. First of all, I'm not fighting anybody at 58 years old. It's fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying?
It's not advisable, Captain.
No, it's not advisable. Maria Davis, David San Martino was awful. He never could wrestle, and he had the talent whatsoever.
Maria is roid raging tonight. What's going on over there?
She must be juicing because she's angry.
Well, you know what? I mean, have you seen Aaron Rodgers' face? Things are rough in Pittsburgh right now.
Anyway,
it's rough. It's rough right now. Yeah.
We'll catch everybody tomorrow with Frank Dusek. And I want to thank our special guest, Ron Shaw.
Shut up.
You see, dude, I've changed. It's like, okay.
I hope it shows up on the I hope it shows up on the replay, but I slipped in a Spicoli. You dick.
I know you did.
Yeah, I hope it got in there. I wasn't sure.
Anyway.
Thanks to our special guest, Ron Coleslaw Shaw. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to go out with a little Hannibal video. And Jimmy, I'll see you tomorrow, big guy.
Yeah.
So naughty that I know that you want to, watch a man that has a big dick make love to another woman over you, and that I, as a man, is giving my concept of a man to fight for the right to fight over you. As a woman that likes to watch guys fight over her pussy, I know it's crazy, but I do want to fight over your pussy. I love your pussy. And I know it's naughty, and I would fight any man over the right to fight for your pussy to show that I am tougher than any man else in Kelowna that wants to fight over you. Kind of sexy, right? I really would want to fight any guy over the right to fight to make love to you. It's naughty, I know. And I know that there's guys that might have bigger dicks than mine, but my dick is pretty big. And I will definitely put my penis on the line, the length on the line, the thickness on the line, over fighting over the right to prove that I'm tougher than any of the guys that wants to fight over your pussy. And I know we are all so naughty. We are all so naughty.
Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach, again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It wasn't cold, but But
Well-
I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So, yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves, that's for sure. 30%.
And again,
off,
it doesn't, they got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a T-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody, too, the Monte and the Pharaoh show, hit the QR code. Shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page, where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte and the Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.
Hey man, what you gonna do when it all comes back to you? Think man, what you gonna say when it all falls away? Today, nothing ever found. Take a look around above the ground. There's no love out on the streets today. It's a mystery. Some say there's a better way. People love to talk to ease the pain. No way it's ever gonna solve a thing. Speak out, love to hear your voice. War and hate to seem to be the drugs of choice. Tell me what tomorrow brings. It's a mystery. Open your eyes to truly see that there's no more time left for you and me. Life's such a mystery that we refuse to see. Look at our history. The cure is you and me. So now, gather up for war. Come over, bridge the war. Forget the love we never ever knew. Godspeed, here's a time late. Better grab what's yours, don't hesitate. Don't say you didn't really have